So as you can see on the opposite side over here, this hair we have already, I'm gonna turn around this way. There we go. We have already got her nice and smooth and silky. And look at that shine. The shine literally speaks for itself, and it's all in the product. So I'm going to teach you all today how you can get your hair really nice, smooth, silky, and shiny, and bouncy like this. When we talk about a silk press, there's a couple of key things that you want to think about, and there are a couple of key things that you always want to remember. A silk press begins at the shampoo bowl. It does not begin when you're actually working with your flat iron. So you want to always make sure that you start off with really getting the hair really nice and cleansed and moisturized at the shampoo bowl. Two of my favorites out of the fiber clinics that I absolutely love to use, I'm going to start off with first is going to be the Tame. And this is going to help to really make sure that we moisturize and hydrate and really nourish those curls. If not using this one, I'm then going to go into my second favorite option, which is going to be the Hydrate. The Hydrate, again, is going to add some nourishment and shine into the hair. It's really going to make sure we have it nice and sealed. As I'm going through this today, if you all have any questions, do not hesitate to drop them into the chat room. I'm definitely going to be answering those, but let's go ahead and get started. I've already shampooed and conditioned her hair, so now I want to go into my actual Fiber Clinics to sealed ends. So when I tell you a little goes a long way, a little goes a long way. Notice that I'm not using a lot of it. I'm just going to emulsify this into my hands. I like to apply it like a lotion almost. And notice it's very translucent, so you don't have to worry about it being too heavy or weighing down the hair. I'm going to start off with applying it onto the ends because that's where I really want to seal and protect. Get that nice and worked all the way through the hair. And then I'm going to start off by making sure it's nice and detangled by working from the ends all of the way up through the mids. Now when I blow dry, I want to subdivide this section first. And when I blow dry, I want to make sure that I'm blow drying for control. So what I like to do is I like to use the nozzle on my blow dryer versus using the comb attachment. And the reason behind that is I'm trying to create body and movement into the hair. I like to either use a paddle or a dim-in brush. Today I'm going to be using the Ergo. They're paddle brushes. Absolutely love these. These are going to help to give me nice, good control. When I'm getting ready to actually do my blow dry, I want to start out with getting the base really nice and smooth, and then I'm going to work through the ends. This is the first steps into actually sealing in that product into the hair. So this is where you're going to really be able to see how the product is working. When we think about what the name of it is, sealed ends, it's really going to seal the ends starting off with your blow dry. Another key component is you want to make sure that you keep your blow dryer on a medium heat but a high airflow. Keep in mind, I still want to nourish her curls and I want to protect them. I don't want to damage them. So I want to make sure that everything that I'm doing is always going to be protecting her curl pattern. So here we are. I want to get nice, good control over my section. I'm going to start out with just smoothing the base. And notice that I have the hair locked into the brush. I'm just at my base. I have not moved to the ends yet. I'm going to work the hair from one side and then to the opposite. This is going to start to really get nice control and smooth her curl pattern out. As I see her curl pattern becoming more and more smooth, I'm now going to work further down the hair shaft. And keep in mind, everything is all about sealing and smoothing those ends. And the product is doing that for you. So don't feel like you have to overwork the product into the hair. Allow the product to really do what it's meant to do. And I can now start to see that shine coming in. Once I get a nice smoothness from the base to the mids, I'm going to do the very last, which is going to be the ends of the hair. Just coming all the way through. Working the hair from one direction and then into the opposite. Allowing the product to really work itself into the hair. As I'm doing this, if you all have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the chat. Today I'm talking about Schwarzkopf Sealed Ends, my absolute new favorite product. It's going to protect the ends, it's going to repair any type of damage. It's going to be a great heat protectant for when you're doing a silk press. So let's look at this section here. I'm just having you tilt over a little bit. There we go. So we can already see the shine coming through her hair, and we have not even hit her hair with the flat iron. So this is really the key part when you come into your silk press. We talked about your shampoo and conditioner needing to be very nourishing and moisturizing to the hair. The second thing that we talked about is your leave-in treatment, which is going to be our sealed ends, and this is going to be our heat protectant. So we have to apply this prior to us doing our blow dry so we can start to protect the hair. And then that product automatically creates that nice silk and silliness to the hair that we want to have. So then that way when I come through with my flat iron, I'm only hitting the hair with the flat iron one time, one pass. I'm not having to go over the hair multiple times. So I'm going to blow dry my next section the exact same way. You always want to start off with keeping your blow dryer on a medium heat, high airflow. You want to make sure as you are blow drying that you start off with controlling at the base, getting this nice and smooth and controlled, working the hair in one direction and then in the opposite. As you start to see that shine come through and the curl being more smooth, you then are going to work from one direction to the opposite direction. I love it when I can hear you guys say silky smooth. Yep, I love it. And it's all within the product and the drying. So here we are again, getting nice control of that curl pattern, working it from one direction into the opposite. Someone said it looks good. I feel like it doesn't need a flat iron. Not necessarily. So depending on your client and the texture of their hair is going to determine if they're going to actually need to have that flat iron. I want to have that because I really want to give her a nice curl to the end. So you're going to notice how we're going to see her curling from one side to the other. And notice the amount of the product that we started off with using. It was a little. A little goes a long way, so don't feel like you have to use a lot of the product. That's the one thing that I absolutely love with it, is that it may, because it is a cream, it is not an extremely heavy consistency. So here we are now, just smoothing all the way through the ends of the hair. If I want to have a little bit more volume when I'm doing my blowout, I just like to come in with my brush, lift up at the base, and smooth all the way through the ends. I love seeing the comments coming in. Looks nice. Thank you. It looks amazing. So here we are now. We have fully have her hair nice and blow dried. The ends are really sealed from the product. I don't have to come back in and apply anything else to her hair. That's the one thing that I absolutely love about this product. It is a one and done job. So it already has sealed the ends. It has protected the hair from my blow drying. It will also protect the hair when I'm going into my flat iron. When you get ready to start into your flat iron, this is where things get I think you have to be extra cautious at this step. So many times we know flat irons can go all the way up to like 450. That does not mean you have to have them at 450. So always be very mindful of the texture and the density of your client's hair whenever you're doing your flat iron. I like to keep my flat irons nothing higher than like 400. Think about what we've already done to the hair. Because we've already blow dried her, and look how silky we have already got her and how smooth, her hair does not necessarily need to be that high. Another thing that you always want to be mindful of is when you are flat ironing, you want to take a slow approach. So my comb is always going to lead, and my flat iron is always going to follow. I'm going to start off with taking a nice controlled subsection. I like to have something, nothing over 1/4 of an inch, because that way I can get nice, good control over it. Other thing that I want to think about when I am flat ironing, get this on really quick. I want to make sure that I'm not just racing through the hair. You want to actually smooth through to really seal the ends. So because of that, I'm going to have my comb in front, my flat iron right behind, the hair would be right in between, and I'm going to smooth all the way through the ends of the hair. So here we are with our first section. I'm going to take my comb, I'm going to turn it just a little bit so you can see, and I'm going to place my comb into the hair, take my flat iron, and then I'm going to smooth all the way through the ends. I like to slightly turn my wrists with my flat iron just to give a nice little bevel to the ends of the hair. But one pass is all you need. Again, I'm going to take my next section. And the question comes up sometimes is, well, how do you get it closer to the scalp area without maybe tapping them with the flat iron? Think about where we were doing with our blow dry. So when we were blow drying her hair, we were really smoothing and stretching out that curl pattern right here at the base. That's why we started here first. So because of that, her hair has already been very smooth in this area. So I don't have to worry about trying to get too close. It's already that smooth. If we're around in the hairline sometimes, that may be an issue too. So sometimes what I would do is just take the side of my flat iron and just lightly grab that little hair. But again, everything started with my blow dry. So my main objective is to get the hair really nice and smooth during my blowout. So then that way when I come in with my flat iron, I'm just doing the section one time, smoothing all the way through, and then I'm done. For those of you that are just joining, hi, my name is Bernetta, better known as Edgy Bee Girl, and today we are talking about getting everything smooth and silky using Fiber Clinics by Schwarzkopf. And I'm using our Seals Ends as my heat protectant. Absolutely love it. Look at that shine and look how silky that is. It looks so good. I can see the shine through this. Even though I see the comments down here, I can still see the shine coming through. It looks amazing. We have a couple more sections that we're going to do. Again, when you're going through with your flat iron, the key thing that you want to think about is you always want to make sure that you have your comb is going to lead by inserting into the hair. Your flat iron is going to follow, coming right underneath, and you want to seal all the way through the ends. I see someone that says that looks really nice. Thank you. We're getting Charkia all ready for the weekend, well, the week. Starting off strong here on Monday. And if you all have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them into the chat. You also can follow me on Instagram at EdgyBeeGirl. You can either follow, make sure you're following Schwarzkopf as well. They have amazing tips on some of these new products that we have coming out. A lot of good stuff on the horizon. So we just have a couple more sections that we're going to do here. And then I'm going to show you how you can add a little bit of curl into it with using your flat iron. So you notice in the back sections we have those curls setting right now. If we want to have a little bit more curl into her hair, it's all in how you work the hair with the flat iron. So here we are, last section. Always start off with inserting your comb, place your flat iron right underneath, and slide all the way through the ends. I have my flat iron today set at 390. So think about everything that we already did with the flat iron, with our blow dryer. So I don't need to have it set any higher than that because we got her hair really nice and smooth with the blow dry. So now with the flat iron, I can just do one simple pass. So now that I have her hair really nice and smooth and silky, we want to add a little bit of curl into this. So what I'm going to do, and I can take this whole section, or I can split this into two. We'll split it into two so that we can show it twice. So I'm going to get nice, good control over the whole entire section. I'm going to take my flat iron. I want to hold it as if I'm holding it like a candlestick. Insert the flat iron into the section, probably midway through the mids of the hair. And I am going to place the hair into the flat iron and I'm going to twist, glide all the way through. Just as we get to the ends of the hair, I'm going to twist one more time and slide all the way through. And then I'm going to release. When I release, I don't want to drop this because if I automatically drop this, this is hot, it's not going to actually hold the curl. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set her hair. So I'm just going to wrap this around 2 fingers. I'm going to take a clip and then I'm going to set it. Again, here we are in my section. And you're going to face or twist just depending on the direction you want the hair to sit. So if you want it away from the face, you're going to twist away from the face. If you want the hair coming towards the face, you're going to twist towards the face. We want our section away from the face. So here I am with my flat iron. I want to hold it as if I'm holding a candle. Place the hair into the flat iron halfway through the midst of it. I'm going to take and twist. As I twist, I'm going to glide all the way through just till I get about to the ends of the hair, and then I'm going to twist one more time. And then I'm going to glide all the way out. That's going to create my curl. I don't want this curl to fall completely out, so I want it to set and cool. Once I wrap it around 2 fingers, I'm just going to take a clip and I'm going to hold that into place. So let's take a look at these in the back that we have already have sitting and they have cooled. You can see here that it has some nice body and movement into it. Here's our opposite section. Once it gets cooled, I'm going to release my clip. Just drop them down. I could either take a comb and work it through, or I can just use my fingers, my hands at this motion. I kind of just want to use my hands. You see how much body she has in her hair, how much shine, and the product is super light. So she doesn't have to worry about her hair feeling weighed down or heavy. It's going to be extremely light, but it's going to be nice and protected. This shine comes from the seal's ends. Her ends are nice and protected and healthy, so she doesn't have to worry about any type of damage from either tools, the environment, any of those things. It was all protected with the sealed ends. Here we are again. We're in the front here. I'm just going to drop these down. Play with these curls for a little bit. And then I'm going to turn it around to the front so that you can see the opposite side. Nice, healthy, bouncy hair, and it all comes from the whole system of the fiber clinics. I want to tap these. These seem a little bit cool now, so we can go ahead and drop these out. Remember today, everything was all about getting the hair really nice and silky and smooth with using the Fiber Clinics line. I started off with shampooing and conditioning our hair with the Tame. We then went into our sealed ends, and the key thing that you always want to make sure whenever you're using the sealed ends is a little goes a long way. So again, I will show you guys and demonstrate. If I was doing this for the whole entire head, this is how much I would use for the whole entire head. Here's the thing that you always want to make sure with using the product. You don't want to just take it right here and apply it. You want to actually emulsify it into your hands. I like to apply it on both sides of my hands like a lotion, so when I work it through the ends of the hair, it's actually getting on both sides of it. Notice how translucent it is, and then I would apply it into her hair starting from the ends, working all the way through the mids up to the base. We then would go into our our blow dry. Couple things to think about when we are blow drying. We always want to make sure that we start off on a medium heat, high airflow. And then we also want to make sure that when we are blow drying, we're using either a nozzle on our brush or blow dryer. And for our brush, we want to make sure that we're using either a Denman or a paddle style brush, because we're really trying to smooth the hair out at the base. When we're smoothing that hair out at the base, we want to make sure that we have a little bit of tension. You always want to make sure that your brush is locked in. You're smoothing all the way through. Once you start to see that it's getting smoother and it's getting nice and sealed, you're going to come through the ends of the hair, and then you're going to work that section from one side to the opposite to really get some extra body in there. When we are flat ironing, this is going to be your most key important things that you want to think about is flat ironing. You want to make sure that your flat irons are not at the highest temperature. We have already smoothed her hair out and we got it really nice and silky with that blow dry. We do not have to go in and do that with the flat iron. So that's something that you always want to keep in mind. Today we did not have our flat iron over 400. We had it at 390, really making sure that we got that hair nice and smooth. You always want to make sure when you're flat ironing, your comb leads, your flat iron follows, everything smooths gradually through the ends of the hair. And then here you have this lovely, beautiful, silky hair. And then the best part about it is, if she decides to go curly, she can keep her hair curly again. So that's another great option that you always want to think about, is that no matter what, if she just wants to keep her hair smooth, she can. And if she wants to go back to wear her hair curly, she can too, because the sealed ends has helped to protect it all the way through.